a reverse sweep, it could potentially happen.
Well, this is their map pick. And I guess it comes down to whether or not the repetitions that Sprout have on Nuke against the better opposition, or let's just see whether or not EU Nuke matches up against NA Nuke.
Yeah, we're going to see that straight away in the pistol round, aren't we? Extra Salt, they were tempting the idea of going out for a little bit of a delayed hut rush. It's not going to happen. Slacks is immediately removing JT. Over toward the ramp we go. Riles is going to have to fall on down. The smoke will at least try and commit a little bit of a fall on through, but he sticks with the smoke. They jump on out. He's good for one. Now it's on K to see what he can do.
Now, K is just going to try and stay alive. However, they are overwhelming him. They do not have the bomb in sight, though. So there may be an escape route planned through the vents. The bomb is down.
Yeah, it's on the floor, unfortunately. A good thing for Fang, though, is he able to find one. A couple more kills come through, and it's a 1 versus 2 in the favor of Extra Salt. Floppy's HP is quite low. Faven, I think he was spotted when he was on the ladder before. The door opens. Marky, all the shots are whiffing. Faven, he needs one to connect. It's not going to happen. The pistol round, although scrappy, is picked up by Extra Salt.
I think Faven got done by the bugged hitboxes then.
Let's go with that.
I'm going to go with that. Well, it used to be a thing that...
Yeah, the planning hitboxes.
Yeah, the planning
bit
hitboxes.
Shocking.
They stayed as you were when you started planning. So if you moved...
Like a grace
the
period.
hitbox didn't move.
Maybe that was before my time.
Maybe this is your time.
Maybe this is my time. It's Extra Salt's time.
It is.
You know that.
It's Extra Salt's time. They have that AK. They got the Mac 10s. And they're going to be the ones sent in first to do the dirty work. They have to come up against the buy of Sprout. So, Faven's already up the ante.
He wants
straight
revenge.
through the door.
Revenge, certainly. Delivered cold in the form of an MP9 towards Marky. As player advantage for Sprout. The Scout getting a little bit of damage out as well. Will soften up. How is he still alive? This is kind of absurd. He'll start to get hunted a little bit. If he gets another tag, that would have been brilliant. He finishes off Floppy. Tagged on a little bit earlier. More kills to be calculated. And I think we're following through with you find the pistol. You don't find the second round right now. But JT, OC trying to make me eat my words.
Absolutely. OC with one straight to the face for Speedy. Oh, here we go. Could he do it?
Oh, there's a chance. It just does get away from him in the end. So Extra Salt again. Yeah, only surviving with one player, but it's that one player that gets them across the board. It was the force up from Sprout, which does mean it's an eco for them now.
Yeah, I guess there's some air of temptation maybe to buy into this, and it is. Okay. There we go. Let's just see whether or not that is a poison chalice for Sprout. As we've got to try and fashion these weapons into a round win. This is what I like to call the Whitlam sampler. Jordan refers to it as the party mix. They've got a bit of everything. MP9s, Scouts, Famous. Oh, here we go. This is a perfect start. As Slacks is 1 for 1. Big emphasis on outside from Extra Salt.
Yeah, Speedy doesn't want to overstay his welcome in the challenge of the Annex as well. So we'll start to fall on back with some damage already delivered over towards Faven. Floppy going to elevate himself and provide a little bit of a better opportunity for Extra Salt if it does come to taking the A bomb site at the moment. But look who's up on the rafters. It was Speedy as he's taken out.
Just turning his back at the wrong moment. And it feels as though Extra Salt have just hoodwinked Sprout in this round. Faven, he cannot even get away, and that is a very nice round in the end after a good opener from Slacks. Didn't quite pan out the way Sprout would have wanted, however. And it was a big call, big investment for them, and now they cannot buy in this round. So, I'm sure they're questioning that decision.
Oh, well, they have chosen it, and they have to follow on through with the proceedings. It's going to be the eco on this one up against the proper buy of Extra Salt. The Mac 10 of Fang as well can potentially farm up a lot of cash, act as a buffer a little bit later on as well, because this is probably the best start for Extra Salt, you know, bar, I guess, surviving with only one player in the first 2 rounds. But nonetheless, they've gotten 3 rounds at the start of the T side, setting themselves up after a shocking map 1.
Absolutely shocking map 1. However, I guess the good thing is about a shocking map 1 is it is relatively easier to mentally reset from that one, because I guess you can say you were never really in it.
And you're going onto your probably most comfortable map as well in
course.
Nuke. You've got the statistics, you've got the know-how, and you've done your research coming into this game against Sprout. You know it's not a map that they really play.
They fashioned the veto well. They've just now got to capitalise on that. So, slow approach from Extra Salt. Not really too sure what they're up against, I'll be honest, because a bit of a interesting buy from Sprout last round. However, the top side execute is going to try and pull some CTs out of position.
Flax again for the opener though onto JT. Now finally Extra Salt will start to get out in toward the site of A, the bomb plant objective, but Slax can get this gun in possession. And we'll see what Sprout have got for us in the retake. No kits though, it's 30 seconds for this one.
Let's just see if there can be any exits to be had for Sprout. OC just watching the ramp. Crossfire going on, and turns his back at the wrong moment.
Yeah, a little bit of damage. That's really it. That's the 4th round on the board for Extra Salt. You know, I kind of did like that they gave the full respect, the full execute in toward the upper site as well. You know, as you say, not knowing in what purchase Sprout were going to be providing in that round. But with that little eco does come the reward and the result of a proper purchase in this one and the AWP for Slacks.
Well, CC side is, I guess, where you could be most effective with the AWP on this map. Really, I mean, unless your opponents are affording you the opportunity to. Not really something that can be worked on the T side, however. Strong emphasis from Extra Salt towards outside. We're just seeing those smokes come through. Hey is just going to try and search for the gap, and I think he might actually found the timing. However, I don't think he's going to try and push on it. He might be able to split the atom, though.
Yeah, JT's already gotten down through Secret and Case hunting on that one, overlooking that Floppy is still in outers, so it's the opening wind for Extra Salt in this round as well. The AWP going to already be revealed by a shot and an echo out. Slacks will be finding OC a little bit more. It's all tempting around the trophy room at the moment. Another challenge. They do manage to start to escape. Someone is still stuck in there, however. Marky, he manages to obliterate too. Bang finds Ralls, and it's all down to Slaxes.
And they're not even going to try and challenge him here. However, Fang, pedaling backwards, manages to get him. And that is a much better start to this map for Extra Salt. They're making that T-side work.
Yeah. Getting the feeling that potentially Ancient a very Sprout-sided map and Nuke a very Extra Salt-sided map. So when it comes to Inferno, if it comes to Inferno, who's going to follow on? Okay, a lot of people would say Extra Salt in that one. That was where I was putting my name in the hat. That would be.
Name in the hat. Well. Just some deagles from Sprout.
Yeah, we'd have to see them pull a rabbit out of the hat to find this one at the moment. The Deegs, little Kevlar, single flashbang seems to be the common thing at the moment when you got a purchase like this. We'll see what they're at least going to be able to try and deliver with this stack up at the A site. Oh, it's actually a little bit more into adders.
Oh,
not anymore.
Nope. That smoke's just going to push Rouse off the line that he had. So Extra Salt are doing a great job of just navigating their way around all of these CTs. Their Deagles.
Yeah, just been
so slow though.
Yeah, real patient. And I think that's one of the things, you know, we were talking about in the pre-show, right, is the different styles when it comes to Sprout and Extra Salt on T side. You know, Extra Salt love to play with time.
They do. Certainly do. And this is what we're seeing now. Like it's a very slow tempo on Nuke. We're seeing Extra Salt just clear out all the angles. They like to let that, you know, they'll insert that player into Secret. They like to let him do the dirty work, and then they'll allow the, you know, the lurk, the active lurker to do their thing.
Well, there's only 30 seconds to go at the moment, and with the navigation around the whole world of Nuke right now, everybody will start to end up down towards the ramp. They'll trickle on towards the B site where they do get the plant. Meanwhile, a rifle has been recovered on Favens, so there could be a little bit of a play to come through from Sprout if they want to, but with guns in the next round, they might just fancy the save.
Yep. I think the save is probably where it's at, I'll be honest, and say that if you're going to persist with the AWP on Slacks, you might want to just take that AK away anyway, to be honest, because that might be a player dropping an AWP over towards him. I mean, I'm looking across there. Favin's probably the obvious choice. He's already got the armor too. So,
And he got a toe-to-toe against OC on the AWP again. He's managed to get that one into his possession. So we'll see how things do turn out. Potentially some aggressive opening challenges from Extrasalt in that regard. You know, we've seen the patience, as we've already mentioned, for them. But you got an AWP in the hand. That changes a bit of the dynamic.
absolutely. I mean, we've already seen that AWP in Slacks be moved around. I mean, he played outside with the scout. He was playing ramp solo. And I feel like Extrasalt are just avoiding him.
Yeah,
as well.
a little
It
bit.
felt as though as soon as they spotted him at ramp in that round where things got a little bit awkward, that's where they just, well, okay, we'll try and play with him, but they're not going to directly challenge him.
Well, that's the tricky part about Slacks, right? He's very proficient in just moving around the map. He's Houdiniing himself every which way. And Extrasalt don't really have the 100% read time and time again that you might get, you know, from a player who's plays the same position. You're out, you would tend to think, all right, that's going to be in outers. But no, Slacks loves to reposition it. It just so happens that this time it actually is in outers. But somewhere else, OC's already found K. Now Slacks finds JT.
They're out in an island here. Slacks finds JT. They've got that player on the silo to try and contend with as well. So Spitty is supposed to be that insurance policy. However, OC has removed Slacks. So do they fall into the trap of thinking outside is clear?
Yeah, well, you got majority of your forces not even toward outside at the moment for Extrasalt, so it might not be the position that they are intending to go towards, although with Floppy starting to reposition the bomb over here, this could be everything for Sprout, namely on the back of Speedy. It just comes down to the time on when the peak does come on through. Do they clear him? It's a minute on the clock. And potentially not.
I don't think they're even going to go through outside, to be honest.
Oh, Marky.
But Marky in the vent.
All right, well, OC. He's not going to be clearing it in Speedy. Oh, I love it. He's waiting. When does he pull the trigger for the second? Floppy's not going to clear it, and this is everything. That's the bomb. That's both of them. 1 and 2, but he might have missed the timing. Oh, there's burst. It's awkward, but he gets the job done. Okay. I thought for a second it might turn upside down, but it's happened. Sprout have the player advantage for 30 seconds. The bomb needs to be recovered first. It's not even going to happen, but Marky, good for 1, and Sprout get the first round on the board.
That round had a few twists and turns to it. Spitty, I mean, I thought the spacing between OC and Floppy was going to be troublesome because it is hard to remain trigger disciplined for that long.
Yes.
And not want to try and take the first. However, it works out perfectly for Spitty. And even then, you can see Faven just moving across as soon as those numbers were called. Got himself out of Annex and straight into the firing line. So, good round for Sprout to take.
It's always great to have insurance policies as well, we'll call it that way. You know, having a teammate there just in case things do go awry. You know, it looked a little bit awkward for them. But again, with a new round does come a new purchase. The NWPs are once again for both sides. Utility here as well. Extrasalt starting to proceed with a little bit of the outers play with the utility. We'll have to take a challenge against K at the moment, who I believe is stuck in garage.
Yeah.
So he's going to have to try and get out. There's a wall of smokes. So there's an opportunity for him to bail.
That's such a forward position as well. So for him to get out of that position, he has to fight.
Well, the smokes are eventually going to fade as Floppy does start to make his way across them. But look at this. It's talking about the forward position. It's overlooked. K gets a little bit of an upgrade onto the AK-47 to player advantage for Sprout at the moment. Don't throw it away.
I thought that was going to be a one and done position because they still had a player up on silo for the opening stages of that round. However, they left Floppy outside solo. Showing some presence towards A. JT is in the vent. However,
Okay, here's the footsteps. Okay, here's all the footsteps. Sees the utility around the ramp room as well. All he needs to do is find one. There's some damage out. The utility pulled. It's a little bit awkward. How is he still alive in this situation? Slacks and Riles managing to find a couple of kills. And again, it's another round where it's twisting, it's turning, it's chaotic through it. But it goes Sprout's way.
That was a botched Molotov on ladder base. That's what cost Extrasalt there. That NA Molly, unfortunately, didn't hit the mark. And there was just so much confusion on the back of that. Somehow Riles gets away and stays alive. And what was looking like a promising round, they had good positioning, Extrasalt. They just needed to collapse into lowers, but they collapsed.
Yep. And they've got another purchase to come through. So it's not like it completely reset them losing that round, right? They can go at it again. That's the affordance of gathering the 6 rounds in a row that we were able to see. Great grenade on towards Fang. That'll soften him up for these M4s to potentially finish him up a little bit later. But I do get the sense that this one is going to be a little bit slower from Extrasalt once more. The utility keeping them at bay. Starting to get these outer wall of smokes across. And I guess making sure they clear all of the corners that they have been kind of taken out from sneakily.
Oh, Fang is just going to walk along the wall of smokes. Annex is going to be the objective. However, JT is in his pocket.
Yeah, well, Slacks is at heaven at the moment, watching from above with the AWP. An eye in the sky. Definitely go a long way. Oh, we're seeing a cheeky run boost across the edge. We are. This could be huge. Timing comes out. Slacks manages to find Floppy. Again, another brilliant shot. Consistency from Slacks is key.
He goes for that anyway. Needs to be careful though. There's Fang. Had him in his sights. JT is encroaching on heaven. However, he may just go the other way.
Yeah, well, Slacks is repositioned to the bottom of the side itself, and Speedy will be looking over towards JT's location, managing to find that one. K pops out for a bit of extra information, and things are really flowing for Sprout at the moment. Just down, OC misses the shot, and it's everybody alive at the end of the round for Sprout. Absolutely what you want.
Okay, with that perfectly timed push, up secret, and now we're starting to see Sprout be a little bit more lively. We're starting to see them shoot into positions that I guess are a little bit greener than previous rounds.
Yeah, we've got another purchase come through from Extra Salt. This is probably the last one in the tank for them if it doesn't go their way, however. You can stretch it out with Marky on that Mac 10 as well. A little bit of a faster play to come through from Fang at the moment in toward the hut. Marky has actually, unfortunately, lost his life rather. A little bit of extra damage to be seen. Sprout, it is all eyes onto the choke points of the A site at the moment. And again, it's just a bit of a reset over towards Extra Salt now.
Just backing off. As they're going to try and put pressure now on the ramp. Slacks has arrived right in the nick of time to just collect OC as they try and put pressure on the ramps here. Rouse from the dark spot. Good for one. However, Fang is going to roll on through to the window room. Oh.
Yeah, the dinks come out onto Fang, but he still does manage to wrestle the spray on towards Faven, and now to recollect on toward the bomb as well. I think K shooting the glass there might have been trained on towards Fang's face, but it didn't really get onto the right time. Fang will put himself in toward the dark corner, and it kind of sets him in motion to rely on JT a lot here to sniff out speed. He can't quite navigate that one. Now with 8 HP, it's 1 versus 3 for Fang.
Got a lot of work to do if he's going to try and fashion this into a round win for Extra Salt. However, he's going to try and do it with 4 bullets in the chamber. Make that 2.
He's on for the ace here, Jim.
Got to be on for the reload. Does have time to work with. And he does have 2 CTs that are very, very split.
Yeah, 2 bullets is very ambitious to go in with the challenge at the moment, but Sprout will let the bomb plant go down. Molotov to flush him out. He's been seen trying to get in toward the smoke, and the defuse will come through in the end. So it's another round over towards Sprout, and actually finally, a bit of a reset on towards Extra Salt.
Very important round, because Sprout finally start to get control of their economy. And also put pressure on their opponents. Look at that. That's a massive swing.
Yeah.
Massive swing in economy. It's just gone all downhill.
And it's
Extra Salt.
And it's happened when we've had a little bit of a flick of the switch on the side of Sprout as well. Everything starts to look a little bit more cohesive. Individuals are starting to fire on all their cylinders as well when, you know, it was a little bit puffy beforehand. It's looking great for them again. Wall of smokes once more from Extra Salt through the Blossom smoke. Slacks finds the first one. It is just pistols for Extra Salt, all things considered, so we'll see what damage they can do again. But, you know, 6 rounds, you know, once upon a time, it would be enough on the T-side.
Absolutely. Once upon a time, it might have been enough, but right now, I mean, we're going to want more. Oh, okay. Marky now, looking dangerous. Now picks up the AK. 23 HP.
Ooh.
They need to be careful.
Yeah, you don't want to give him too many opportunities here, or these 1 versus 1 fights. He'll start to take his HP down to 23 HP, but he's still alive.
And their economy has only just started to recover, so this could be, if he starts to do more damage, this could be troublesome. He might not win the round, but he could set up future rounds.
And he knows with that little toe tussle that someone is in the vents, the AWP. If he can remove the AWP, that forces a little bit more of an investment. Riles has no money at the moment. He is the player with the lowest amount of cash for Sprout, but it's not going to matter. We can throw away that narrative because Sprout do win the round in the end. And now they're going to be playing for the one that is we call the tie-up.
The tie-up?
I'll call it the tie-up.
Okay. That could have gone really, really south, the tie-up. Could have tied me up.
Oh, we got a
Don't
timeout.
picture that.
A timeout for Sprout as they ponder their thoughts. They know that the AWP is going to come in again for Slacks at the moment. All the utility, all of the money. We know that they've got a proper buy. We swing it over towards Extra Salt at the moment. They've lost a couple of these rounds in a row at the moment, more than a couple. And they're wrestling to try to get more control onto water. What was working on the T side for them earlier is no longer. We've seen a lot of slow-paced rounds from them. We haven't really seen an attempted rush completely. We've seen a little bit of the to and fro from getting players down the vent, but they haven't managed to do anything with it.
It really has been, I guess the slower rounds were characteristic of Extra Salt in the early exchanges. Sprout have, I feel like they've worked them out a little bit now. I feel like they've worked things out a little bit. They're certainly winning these opening duels as well. That's a big change. And
look at the investment in towards outers from Sprout. 3 players straight on towards the silo again. I mean, this is a position that we know Extra Salt is checking now from what Speedy was able to do a little bit earlier on. But a position forward nonetheless to gather information. You can rely on Slacks to try and get an assisting situation happening, specifically with the gap in this smoke here. And he does miss the timing, but they overlook K. There's one, maybe a second, a third! They line up for him right now. And he's in the flames. OC falls. It is miraculous. That should never be happening from Extra Salt.
K with the quad. And Marky is out on an island. He's in Squeaky. And
where's my team?
Is disaster.
One by one. No util, no flash. They line up. They get in front of each other. The flames as well. Didn't actually catch if that was a Sprout flame or if that was an accidental, you know, lob down on the floor or someone died with a pulled out. I think so. Regardless, Speedy will find Marky, and that is the tie-up, as I do say. 6 apiece. The money, again, for Extra Salt. It'll permit a purchase. They're going to go in with it. Not too much utility. And again, as the placard comes up, a little bit of an update for us. Godsent have won on Nuke in their series, so that is always great to be able to find a win from them.
That was a matchup I was looking forward to as
well. It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Intercontinental matchup there, the South Americans in Godsent against the Polish squad Whistler. All in.
Alrighty, Extra Salt. That's 6 in a row that they have dropped against Sprout now on that CT side. And Sprout looking to gain control. Floppy has fallen in disgrace, assisted by K. At least OC will get the trade.
That is unlucky for Floppy. Just stopped midair, dropping off silo. The timing's not working out. Rouse has found it. This is falling apart for Extra Salt. They were all in. They'd invested everything in this round. The utility was somewhat there, but it wasn't as good as it could be. And now they find themselves in a very lonely position.
We don't count them out just yet. They've got a couple of these individual duels that they can take and unfortunately lose. Feven will find OC and the bomb, so that objective has to be refound. A leg to come out at the end, and Slax's pistol is enough to get the job done. It's the 7th for Sprout. It's the eco to come through from Extra Salt because they need to make sure they can provision themselves a gun purchase in the last round.
This is a massive swing too from Sprout. They have been able to get themselves, what?
7 in a row?
7 in a row. And that is massive in the context of this series because Extra Salt, I felt as though they had that momentum coming in off Ancient. Now that they're on to a Nuke where I feel as though they maybe run out of steam, maybe they felt like they've done enough on this T side already.
Yeah, I kind of think they would hope that they have as well. You know, it's 6 rounds on the T side. It was unanswered, so maybe they feel like they could have gotten a little bit more with Sprout starting to finally revitalize and get a couple in a row. You know, it makes it a little bit more awkward, but nonetheless, you move over in the next half to what would be argued still the stronger side of this map. You find the pistol, you find the second unanswered as well, and you're really starting to find, you know, your mojo back.
Oh. Rouse. The temptation to chase that frag is always real. However, JT finds the timing on Slacks. However, the cavalry's arrived, and it's expensive.
Doesn't really hurt Sprout's economy at the end, that is for sure, but certainly does put an opportunity onto the plate of Extra Salt. Marky with 37 points of HP. Did he tap the bomb here? He's going to opt to go for it completely, and he's going to deny it from even going onto the floor. Okay, Jim. It's 8-6. We move over into the last round of the half. We've got another purchase to come through from Extra Salt. The utility is here behind the weaponry as well. But I think my big question right now is, are they actually going to get this round? Are they going to change it up?
Well, the question is, if they change it up,
What do they do?
what do they do? Like, Sprout just have the read now on what's going on. They're actually fighting and contesting outside. Extra Salt have put a lot of emphasis on outside. They haven't actually been able to crack it since. And so Extra Salt now are just putting pressure. Oh no.
Well, he gets in front of the HE grenade, but this is what I was wanting to see. Extra Salt holding W in toward the site. Floppy good for one, but now the CTs start to activate with a couple. The plant is not allowed at the moment to go down. Everybody is just making sure that they're finding the jewels, finding the frags. The bomb does get planted in the end.
Yeah.
But it's in a 2 versus 4 now.
Well, Marky had to hit that, and now he's in trouble. Spitty gets out that door, and can Marky make something of this? He's going to be the key player. Floppy's just watching. However, he's only good for one.
Yeah, Floppy, the 1 versus 3 to be able to find this one as well. Opportunity, there's the first, maybe the second, and now it's all on his slacks with the AWP already scoped on through as well. And Floppy manages to find the 1 versus 3 in the end to get another round on the board for Extra Salt. Extra Salt, rather. I'm getting ahead of myself. Folks, we're going to a halftime break, and we'll see you on the other side.
Been a first half of twists and turns. However, we have landed at an 8-7 scoreline after Extra Salt got out to a rip-roaring start. And Sprout have been able to fight their way back, bringing it to 8-7. Komodo joins me for the second half. Komodo, this is a game and a half, I tell you.
Certainly so. The map pick of Extra Salt coming through onto their favoured side of CT right now as well. They'll trail by 1 and they can equalise it with the pistol round, which is what they're going to be challenging for. And an opening frag going their way is certainly what they want to see. Oh my lord, it quickly. You blink and you miss it. Riles is the only one now alive for Sprout, and I think his position's already been known as well.
JT and OC combining for a steadfast defense of ramps, and now Riles is going to make it work. He cannot make that Glock sing, and it is back to 8 apiece. Extra Salt with a much-needed pistol round win, because it felt as though the momentum had certainly shifted the way of Sprout after that first half.
Yeah, well, with a little bit of damage being seen from Sprout in that round, they are going to be getting out these scouts on Slacks, but that's about it. No plant either. They're forming themselves a purchase in the next round, so we know that Extra Salt are, yeah, most likely aligned to be able to find this one right now. But you look towards the momentum that we saw from them in the 6-0 that they started off with. There was nothing in return after that until the last round of the half. 8 clean from Sprout, so we tied up.
I'm just watching Slacks just straight up machine it into the line of fire with nobody in tow, nobody supporting him, just wanted to do it solo, and he goes down almost instantaneously. That's what I was just having a cheeky giggle at.
Well, they've managed to find one frag in the round, and when I say they, I mean Sprout, and it's going to be the only one, as Fang will clean them up in the end. Extra Salt to reclaim the lead after it had been a little while, but we know with that little save, little tossle from Sprout, they're going to get the proper well, I say proper purchase. They're going to get a purchase in toward this round because Slack's overcommitted with the scout, and we saw how that went.
Now he's got to try and fashion something with a deagle. However, he is the best equipped in terms of utility, so let's just see what role he plays in Sprout's tactics. As a faster approach now, K is not messing around whatsoever. He's getting straight into the line of fire. He's not even waiting for the smokes to go down. That smoke has not worked. OC gets 2 there.
Yeah, the deagle from Slacks couldn't quite navigate the trade, and with some more damage coming on through, Extra Salt are positioning themselves for double digits on the back of this round. You see goodbye towards Faven, and now it's on to Riles and Speedy to see what they can reclaim at the moment. Fang is still lurking around Outers. Now it is just down to Speedy. The bomb not on his back. Manages to find JT, but it's in a 1 versus 4, now turned 1 versus 3.
So much work to do. Marky makes that MP9 work from such a huge distance. Didn't have a lot of HP to chip away at, though, so fortunately for him, it was a relatively easy job. Sprout, though, just looking a little bit lost on that gun round. Yes, they went fast, but there's no follow-up utility after that initial smoke. I'm not even sure what that was covering, aside from the angle maybe in warehouse there, but it left them open to so many duels, and you need that covering utility to just create space. They had no space creation whatsoever, and a faster approach certainly didn't work for Sprout.
A lot of grenades invested to the squeaky door. Blow it up, see if you can catch anybody on the other side. Luckily for Extra Salt, there is nobody there at the current time, so they'll dodge all of that and just set themselves up for what could potentially be a clean round. But as we say that, Faven manages to take out Marquee. A little bit too ambitious.
Had that MP9, wanted to get that extra kill bonus. Saw what he thought was a window of opportunity and tried to make it work. Now, OCR, the timing on that drop, unfortunate again, twice. Not the 3rd time, though. As the cleanup crew arrive, Fang is just happy to oblige. The shooting gallery is alive and kicking. And, well, I mean, Faven, he's got that MP9, but nobody chasing him. Not going to have the opportunity to make it work. Now, this is a bit of a nothing round here from Sprout.
Well, the attempt at being silent, the large stompers just does come undone there. Hey, he's going to see if he can find any damage in this one. We know we've got a purchase around the corner for Sprout as well. But any round for Extra Salt, you know, they are trailing a map at the moment. They definitely want to come back on this one, send us over into that 3rd decider. Kind of, I guess, where a lot of people were aligning. I know the analyst desks certainly were on that train of thought. It's too early.
Yeah. Too early to really see any, I guess,
any trends in this
emerging trends. But what I am liking, though, is that CT economy going up and up and up.
Yeah, it's definitely a trajectory that Extra Salt are loving as well at this current point in time. But Sprout, not so much. We're back towards Outers for them. Hopefully this time the utility does work out a little bit better. Was there a Molotov, I think, thrown in the mix that was trying to upset some flames? Anyways, the wall of smokes do work. It does permit Sprout down in towards Secret. And even down the vent. Marky, though, is sniffed out.
Faven is out of the vent too. So now there's this thought in the back of Extra Salt's head that they have a player in the vent, so that's not going to be a point of rotation.
Yeah, well, we know that player has gone back up towards the uppers, and now with Faven being here, that should signify to Extra Salt that everything is happening up on the A side. K is still lurking down in these tunnels as well, so he could potentially find something sinister a little bit later into this round. But it shifts, essentially, from, you know, a defensive structured round for Extra Salt to that save.
It's all in the back of the individual player, Faven. So gets himself into that vent, cuts the rotation attempt off, and then reappears for an entry into topside. So all Extra Salt can do is try and save their weaponry. OC is already hightailed it into spawn.
And Sprout can't justify going for a hunt either. They have not built up any money behind these guns whatsoever. Only really one player is what they can sacrifice, and that's already happened on towards K. So as the bomb does sing its good song and go off into the air, another bite around the corner for both spots is what we're going to see.
Much better from Sprout. Felt as though it was all one-way traffic for Extra Salt. So it's good to see them now just getting back into the swing of things. This is their first T round. There is the highlighted player there, Faven. It was on the back of his openers. They were able to get themselves into that round.
Alrighty. Again, out of smokes, out as utility to come through from Sprout. If only OC pulled the trigger on that one, he might have found the first frag. The team still will, with Floppy finding Riles, unable to get down through the vent. Meanwhile, K lurking in the outers is not going to overextend too hard. The AWP still locked down. A lot of early utility dropped by Extra Salt, but it's not even that that's permitting them the frags at the moment. It's just these clean lines of sight that Sprout are walking into.
I get the feeling that Sprout just don't have that watertight utility usage on the T side. Probably a reason why they just don't want to be picking into it. That's a great line, actually.
Even going to beat OC on toward the other line that he could potentially be taken out from, so that's always great to see. I would always fancy a little bit of the wallbang attempts to come through on the right side of this one as well, but it looks like the utility is going to be coming out at the moment to try and clear on and out. They really are putting this focus on the hunt on towards OC, and that's exactly why they managed to find that, equalizing the 3 versus 3, and it just opens up a massive opportunity of space here.
So much space being created right now. They need to check that corner for Floppy. They haven't done so. Ooh, Spitty takes that individual duel, and Marky appears at the right time. However, Faven is there to stop him dead in his tracks as Slacks has now made this a 2 versus 1 for Fang.
I wonder if that was audible for Sprout as well. Straight down in toward the vent. It's a big stomper from Fang. The util coming out as well. Manages to essentially clear out Dark with that one. He doesn't know that for now. The flames he does have in hand as well, but an open bomb plant, no smoke to go on toward it. And the kit is there, but it's not going to happen. Straight opening in toward the doors. Slacks finds the frag, and they're within 1.
A triple for Slacks. He's been a player to watch in this matchup. And they take their second timeout now, Sprout. Big round for them too, a stabilizing tactical timeout.
Well, maybe they're opting for this safety update plan at the moment, Jim.
Yep.
You know, you follow that one along the lines. That's what they're going to be doing right now. Try and catch up to the scoreline of 11 for Extra Salt. You know, there was a six-sided step I think I saw there. I think that's too many personally for me.
Yeah, there's just too many processes to follow. Becomes convoluted.
Yeah, I think you know the main Counter-Strike process: hold W, shoot, win.
Well, there was once a famous. Wasn't an in-game leader, but an Australian player. Once had a very simple philosophy about the game, and it was if every one of us get a single kill in each round, we win.
Got mine. I'm done.
That's it. Do your part.
Got my one.
Go 1 for 1. If everyone just gets that one frag in a round, we win. Going to be a little bit more complex for that, though.
Oh,
That's a great amount of damage done by Fang.
yeah, but unfortunately doesn't find the frag. So in terms of the numbers, do have an opportunity to clear another corner. That's, you know, they wouldn't have if one of those kills was found. They're down in toward the lower tunnels at the moment, so certainly spreading out their wings, seeing what they can flutter around and find.
JT just repositioning. Going to be difficult to get out of that foxhole. That's a great spam. Maybe they've heard that.
Well, it doesn't really matter at the moment because he still manages to find Rals, but that was one of the players that was damaged up a little bit earlier. K will finalize the frag through the floor, mind you, and even double down on towards OC. Things are starting to come back for Extra Salt, but in the end, it is just going to come down to Floppy to see what he can do in a 1 versus 3. Was the player, mind you, that had the worst weapon in the purchase up from Extra Salt, so that's going to be an upgrade, but is it going to be what's needed? 1 versus 2, maybe.
Okay, so he's put that grenade onto Slacks, who's just going to be without sound momentarily. However, Spitty, he arrives just in time. And, oh, that is another timeout coming for Extra Salt. For Extra Salt, they're going to probably be wanting this, I'll be honest.
It helps them probably in terms of being able to reset themselves mentally at the moment. You know, a couple of rounds that they were gathering for sure, but now it's kind of not working for them. These defenses are falling apart. They're getting close, mind you, in a couple of these rounds, but not over the line, not in terms of gathering around, resetting the economy of Sprout. It is, mind you, getting close on a couple of these players, though. You know, you talk about 1 or 2 rounds for Extra Salt. That's the reset towards Sprout. That's probably, yeah, maybe where Extra Salt can run away with this map, but the pause nonetheless does come undone. And it will be those pistols for Extra Salt.
The thing that doesn't work in the favor of Extra Salt right now is the fact that they are the ones that have the economy that is in a bit of a spiral. So for them, it's a long road. They have to just shore themselves up. They're not going to have the utility or weaponry for now to deal with what Sprout have. However, they have power in numbers. And the power in numbers is being put towards ramp. So if Sprout choose to engage and overcommit, they could be in trouble.
Yeah, well, not everybody is all aboard on this ramp play at the moment for Extra Salt. Just 3, but 3 may be enough. You take away a gun or 2, it'll steer Sprout away from this location, and then maybe you take those guns and use them a little bit later. JT is the first one to try and get some shots out, but whilst he does manage to get Rals, he lost 2 of his teammates in the process.
Oh, OC just makes that USP work in his favor. Okay. Oh.
You're just getting double links galore out here, Jim. Okay, well, that's a couple of guns that they can reclaim here. The fake attempt on the reload. If there wasn't a smoke, maybe it would have worked out. But there's just a sound cue in the end. 2 AKs now in the possession of the Extra Salt players. They don't have any armor behind them, so maybe you do want to see Fang gather one of these. In a sneaky position too.
Whoa, the body punch value now of this Deagle.
Oh, they've been ecoed.
Oh no.
Yeah, I hate to see it.
OC with 3, that's...
Oh, with the USP,
the running
nonetheless.
USP.
Oh, marvelous.
Just service with a smile.
Yeah, big grin on Extra Salt's faces right now on the back of, you know, the well-needed pause, courtesy of Sprout. Doesn't work out for them. And they're going to opt for another one now, so there's no more to rely upon from here on out for them. They do fashion a purchase here too. Slack's able to get out the AWP.
There's 3 timeouts in 4 rounds.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on. Because they've been gathering a couple of these rounds.
Yeah. On the back of some round wins, they've taken some timeouts.
It makes it look like an AK.
That's criminal.
Tap, tap.
It's absolutely criminal.
Alrighty. So, throughout the pause does come undone. Purchase will start to come on through. Do they rest back onto what is a known quantity for them? Do they go back towards the wall of smokes and outers, take it a little bit slowly? They've gone for a couple of these rushes, a couple of these scrappier plays that, yeah, whilst they were working, that's all said, great and done. If you lose a round like that against pretty much an eco, you got to change something up. You know, you can't just try and go at it again.
Oh, I mean, I'd hope so.
Yeah, well.
But I'm looking at early presence outside. Oh, Marky. Okay, the timing works out for Faven here. He gets himself out that door. He could catch Marky out if he's not careful. However, he's going to reposition as that smoke fades. So that second smoke, he might be able to step in front of that. Might be able to catch someone out. In the meantime, the rest of Sprout have just hit the brakes. They've just pumped the brakes around Red. And they're waiting to see if anybody from Extra Salt is going to move on the back, I dare say, of this utility from Spitty.
Yeah, he's going to try and see if he can sell a fake of sorts up to the A site. Even could run in with that dig on the back of it as well. It is going to in turn find some util dumping to come through from Extra Salt. Meanwhile, they do manage to get across in outers down towards Secret. Slacks finds JT. Now it's Bang to pop up his head. Only good for one, and the trades do mean that Sprout still hold a player advantage. Faven still lurking around in the squeaky area. Only with that dig. It's close proximity, Jim.
Yep, they're all holding off angles here. Floppy is deceived, and now Marky is good for 2. So there's still a way in here for Extra Salt. OC finds the timing on Slacks, but he cannot prevent the bomb plant.
And it's Kane on 1 versus 2. Now the Flames are going to go through the double door, but how do you position yourself around this one? A lot of players, you know, it's going to be risky business going through the double doors at the moment, but it might just be the thing that assists him in toward around victory. OC looks the wrong way, and now Marky's only on 20 HP coming through the ramp. The footsteps have been heard as well, but K, this is a headshot angle that he needs to try and wrestle with, but he finds it to the body. Doesn't really matter in the end. 20 HP, you get the job done and dusted. Once more, they are all tied up, 12 apiece. And
you can see there that the economy from the CT side, it is still relatively healthy. However, you have 2 players in Marky and OC who cannot get
just give him USP.
A decent just give me USP. Give me utility USP. Okay, they're going to go for that scout. Okay, it's just been juggled around. I thought for a moment there was going to be a double scout, and I thought there's going to be some big trouble in Little Nuke.
They've done the thing that we don't do on broadcast. We don't do math. We leave it to them to do, to see what purchase they can get out.
Depends on what your preferred utility is. That's where I would argue that the CTs need something in that sort of, I guess, Galil range, right? Like the Famis is dead awful.
Yeah, well, I mean, the Scout with the MP9 finisher, or the other way maybe, it's plausible. We've seen distance kills from Marky with it.
I feel like they just need to tweak the Famis, make it a little bit more viable.
I agree.
Make that burst fire actually work like it did in 1.6 or Source. And I think you're probably there, but look at the speed with which they are hitting outside. OC, he only has that Scout, so he cannot see anything. He cannot fashion anything for Extra Salt.
And it's a Mac 10 and Galil for Sprout as well. So it's not like they have the full forward purchase. It's actually 2 Galils to come through from them. Yeah,
and they're going to have to fight their way through on this too if you're Extra Salt. They cannot work this. They're not going to have utility for retakes, and they're not going to have kits.
Yeah, well, it's a 1-on-1. In this current point in time, you might look towards some favorability on that factor. It's a trade. No, not even a trade. It's just damage in the end to come through from OC. The player advantage for Sprout as they get down in the lower tunnels. But the remaining 3 players for Extra Salt, they are the ones with the superior rifles in this regard.
Yep. And they're actually going to run straight into the path of Extra Salt. So Fang opens that door. JT makes it a very awkward entrance to the lower bomb site. They are denied entry. They've been bounced from the front of the club. They're wearing the wrong shoes, and that's the bouncer's final opinion.
You have been cut. You are not allowed to enter right now. A great hold from Fang and JT. You know, I almost feel like Sprout cut off their own rotation with the flame that goes in toward the vent. If they had any inkling that there were 2 players down at the lower B side, you know they wouldn't have gone there. But regardless, they didn't have that information. So Extra Salt, they managed to capitalize on that. Take the lead once again, and against a what I thought might have been an eco from Sprout, they choose to force on in the Deagles and the Scouts. So again, all eggs, one basket. A little bit of utility. Something to go through from them at the moment. But again, you know, it's this sort of slower pace start toward a round that they have started to transition to.
In hope of finding an opener, which is not being presented to them. Extra Salt on this round, they've consolidated. They have pulled everybody way back. I mean, OC's playing that air conditioning spot, playing it cool. Unless it's reverse cycle.
Yeah, cool, calm and collected. You don't want to give an opportunity over towards Sprout at the moment and give them the fire under their feet that they could certainly run with. Good shot from OC though onto Slacks. Again, you know, the counterpart in the AWPing. It's great to see the little micro battles between those two.
Utility lineup. Going to try and get themselves a bomb plant, maybe on the back of this, get themselves out that door, Heaven Smoke come through.
Floppy's flamed out as well, but they don't spread too far, so we can still play from on top of the hut at the moment. 25 seconds. The bomb actually dropped before it could get down the vent. I don't even think that was the intent on this play right now. Again, that time is certainly not assisting Sprout in this regard. Speedy gets in, but Marky was already there to take him out. So it's 14 on the board for Extra Salt. No purchase on the horizon for Sprout here. They're going to have to just make sure they save for the guns in the next, and it's probably, you know, a great opportunity for Extra Salt to just close it out cleanly from here.
Yeah, I mean, they really could have benefited from a bomb plant there, at least give themselves some utility to work with in this round. Try and fashion another bomb plant, but I mean, they're just going to have to full eco. This is one of the rare times where I've actually seen a team feel that hard reset this late in the game, and it's the T side of all sides. It just doesn't really happen like that too often anymore.
Certainly doesn't bode well for Sprout, that's for certain. We'll see what the pistols can do. Essentially, the Glock train, Favin with the P250. Yeah, might be able to find a frag, but you know, it's not really going to hurt too much. This round should be Extra Salts, but they start to flow out through the squeaky door, and they just all get obliterated.
Yep. They have been knocked down like 10 pins. And that is going to be, I would suspect, a very clean round from Extra Salt. They bring up match point. And maybe it would look like we are going to a third map. So
yeah.
Extra Salt much stronger on Nuke than what we saw on Ancient.
Yeah, well, again, you know, statistics are good for statements in my regard right now. You know, it's been a map in Nuke that Extra Salt have played a lot more in relative times than Sprout has. So, I mean, odds are they should be gathering this one. If they didn't, then maybe it just comes down to, you know, what Sprout were actually capable of doing. And they haven't really displayed it too much on Nuke. But regardless, Inferno around the corner potentially if Extra Salt can close it out from here. Fang's position does manage to find K. That's a good start.
No real chance of a trade either. There was nobody around.
Yeah.
Smoke's outside though. And, well, Extra Salt haven't really fallen for it. They do have numbers already down underneath, so they're ready for this.
All of this utility that Sprout has thrown leaves them with a single smoke grenade right now. It's dry clearing essentially from here on out. And if you haven't found OC yet with the AWP, that's a really difficult position to try and bully your way into.
Yeah. I mean, if they do manage to try and take him on and do clear ladder base, that would have been much better for them. However, they're going to have to try and face down here. That single smoke has been used on the doors, but JT's still alive.
And that's the bomb dropped on the floor. But I dare say Sprout are only going to be given an opportunity to try and get the plant. Riles and Faven are very split in positions right now. JT isn't the last line of defense at this B site either. There's still 2 players around the site to deny the plant from going down. Riles, it's 30 seconds to try and go for. It's going to be the fake tap at the end. Could have gotten away with it fully. Faven loses his life.
Oh, no.
And the door opens at one time. Manages to find Marky. They don't line up, unfortunately. Jim, we are indeed going over into map number 3 at 16-12 here in favor of